I'm not sure how many days have passed since I first encountered him, but each day feels like an eternity. I've tried to keep track, but the shadows blur together, and time becomes irrelevant in this place. I've made a decision. I won't wait for him to come to me anymore. I need answers, and I need to confront whatever darkness has taken root in this forest. That night, armed with only my flashlight and a sense of grim determination, I venture back into the woods. The moon is a thin crescent, barely illuminating the path ahead, but I can feel the weight of the trees pressing down on me, suffocating in their silence as I walk deeper into the forest. I listen for sounds, anything that might indicate I'm not alone. The familiar feeling of being watched creeps back in, prickling at the back of my neck. I force myself to push it aside, focusing instead on the crackling twigs underfoot and the distant call of an owl. After what feels like hours, I arrive at a small clearing I've never seen before. In the center stands a lone stone altar, covered in moss and grime, surrounded by a circle of twisted branches. It looks ancient, primal, like a place where rituals were once performed. I approach cautiously, the air thick with an oppressive energy. On the altar lies an assortment of objects: bones, feathers, and a weathered book, its cover cracked and frayed. My heart races as I realize this could be the key to understanding what's happening here. I pick up the book, my fingers trembling as I flip through the pages. The text is in a language I can't read, but the images are unmistakable, drawings of figures, some humanoid but distorted, with hollow eyes and elongated limbs. I recognize the same twisted smile I saw on the MN as I study the drawings. A chill runs down my spine. It becomes clear these are not just sketches. They depict some kind of worship, a dark ritual dedicated to these beings. I skim through the pages, searching for anything that might give me insight into what I'm dealing with. Then I see it, a passage that describes a ritual to summon them, to make a pact for power and immortality. The words seem to glow on the page, pulsing with a sinister energy. I can feel the air around me shift, the temperature dropping as if the forest itself is responding to what I'm reading. Suddenly, a rustling sound pulls my attention away from the book. My breath catches in my throat as I turn, and there he is, the man from the woods, standing just beyond the edge of the clearing. He's watching me, that same twisted smile on his face. "You shouldn't be here," he says, his voice a low rasp that echoes in the stillness. "This place is not for you." I hold my ground, adrenaline coursing through my veins. "What are you?" I manage to stammer. "What do you want from me?" He steps closer, and I can see the gleam of something sharp in his hand, an object that glimmers in the dim light. "You came here for answers, didn't you?" His smile widens. "But you don't want to know the truth." "I need to know," I shout, desperation creeping into my voice. "Tell me what's happening." He tilts his head, as if considering my words. "You have no idea what you're asking for. The forest protects its secrets. You're not meant to uncover them. But I'm not backing down. I'm not afraid of you," I say, trying to project more confidence than I feel. "If you want me to leave, you'll have to make me." He laughs, a low, chilling sound that echoes through the clearing. "You think you can leave? You're already part of this place, part of the cycle. You can't escape what you've become." With that, he lunges forward, and I instinctively drop the book and dart to the side, my heart racing. I scramble around the altar, trying to keep the stone between us. "Stay away from me," I shout, but my voice trembles, betraying my fear. He circles the altar, his movements almost graceful, like a predator toying with its prey. You're more connected to this than you realize. You carry their mark, their essence. What do you mean? I ask, panic rising in my throat. I'm nothing like you. He lunges again, but I'm quicker this time, dodging behind the trees, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I hear him follow, the sound of branches snapping underfoot, and I push myself to run faster. I have to find a way out of this nightmare. I break through the tree line, stumbling back into the clearing around the cabin. The familiar sight of my dilapidated home momentarily reassures me, but I can't let my guard down. I bolt inside, slamming the door behind me and locking it tight. I lean against the door, my heart racing, the silence inside deafening. For a moment, I think I've escaped him. But then I hear it, the soft, persistent knocking, echoing from the walls. He's come for me. With shaking hands, I grab the flashlight and look around the cabin, searching for something, anything to defend myself. The old tools my grandfather had left behind catch my eye. A rusted axe, a couple of heavy nails, and a hammer. I grab the axe, its weight comforting in my grip. The knocking grows louder, more insistent. I can hear his whispering voice, a sinister lullaby that seeps into my mind. You can't hide. You're part of this now. I take a deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. I won't let you take me, I whisper, more to myself than to him. The door rattles as he pounds on it, and I brace myself, ready for whatever comes next. Suddenly, the door bursts open, splintering wood flying in every direction. He stands there, framed by the darkness outside, his eyes gleaming with malevolence. "Let's finish this," he says, his voice a guttural growl. That I end that moment, something primal surges within me. I swing the axe, the blade slicing through the air as I aim for him. He dodges just in time, but the force behind my swing surprises me, and I feel a rush of adrenaline. "You think that will save you?" he taunts, but there's a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. That I take another swing, feeling a surge of defiance. "I won't be a part of your twisted game." As I fight back, I can feel the energy in the cabin shift, as if the very walls are alive, pulsing with the dark magic that binds this place. I sense something awakening, something deeper than just my fear. But with every swing of the axe, I also feel something strange, a connection to him, to the forest. It's as if I'm tapping into the same power that brought him here. I hesitate, the axe hovering mid-swing. "What do you want from me?" I ask, my voice shaking. "What am I supposed to be?" He smiles again, that sickening, twisted smile. "You're meant to join us, to become part of the cycle. You're more powerful than you know." "No!" I scream, the word tearing from my throat. "I refuse to be part of your nightmare." The forest howls outside, the wind picking up, shaking the walls of the cabin. I can feel the energy intensifying, building to a breaking point. I lower the axe, feeling a strange calm wash over me. "If I'm going to be part of this," I say, my voice steadying, "then I'll make it my own. I won't let you control me." He blinks, the surprise flickering across his gaunt face. For a moment, he seems taken aback, and I seize the opportunity. I turn, running back toward the altar in the clearing, where the book lies open on the stone. I can sense the power that's been waiting there, the connection to whatever darkness has been stalking me. As I reach the altar, I grab the book, flipping through its pages until I find the ritual described earlier. With every ounce of willpower, I focus on the words, feeling the energy swell within me, the air crackling with potential. I can hear him behind me, the sound of footsteps approaching. He knows what I'm trying to do. "Stop!" he shouts, panic creeping into his voice. "You don't know what you're doing, but I do know. I'm not running anymore. I'm taking control." With a voice that trembles but grows stronger with each word, I recite the incantation, feeling the power surge through me. The forest responds, the trees shaking, the very ground beneath my feet rumbling. He lunges at me, but it's too late. I can feel the energy coiling around me, wrapping me in its embrace. It's as if I'm channeling the very essence of the forest itself. That I end that moment. I understand. I'm not just a victim. I'm a part of this place, just like he is. I have the power to change it. The darkness erupts, swirling around us, and I see the shadows shift, forming shapes, figures that look like the ones in the book. They emerge from the trees, their hollow eyes fixed on him. He freezes, fear flickering in his gaze. "No, you can't do this." But I push the energy forward, feeling it burst free, wrapping around him, binding him in place. The forest seems to come alive, drawing on the power I've unleashed, and I can hear the whispers of the beings from the shadows joining my voice. "You're not in control anymore," I say, the words resonating through the clearing. "I am." As the shadows close in, I realize I'm not just freeing myself. I'm rewriting the pact. I'm taking back the power that has been stolen from those who came before. And with that, I release the energy, watching as it envelopes him, dragging him back into the darkness from which he came. His screams echo through the night, a sound of pure terror as he disappears into the forest, the shadows swallowing him whole. Silence falls over the clearing, the oppressive weight lifting. The moonlight breaks through the trees, illuminating the altar and the book still lying there. I take a deep breath, my body shaking with adrenaline. I've won. But at what cost? The forest feels different now, lighter somehow, as if a burden has been lifted. But I know the darkness will always linger, just beneath the surface. I turn back toward the cabin, my heart still racing. I don't know what the future holds, but I know one thing. I'm no longer a victim of this place. I've claimed my power, and I will protect it as I step into the cabin. I lock the door behind me, the shadows retreating into the corners. I feel the weight of the book in my hands, a reminder of the dark history I've rewritten. I may be alone, but I'm not powerless anymore. The forest is mine now, and I will guard its secrets fiercely. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find a way to escape this cycle of horror for good. The silence in the cabin feels almost foreign, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. I place the book on the table, my hands still trembling. The air is thick with residual energy, buzzing like static electricity. I can't shake the feeling that I've merely delayed the inevitable. The forest is alive. It knows me now, and I can feel its pulse. An unsettling rhythm that beats in time with my own heart. I spend the next few days in a fog of adrenaline and exhaustion. I comb through the book, desperate to understand more about the forest and its dark history. The drawings and rituals unravel the tangled web of the place I've stumbled into, revealing its grim past. Sacrifices made, lives consumed, and a cycle of darkness that has persisted for generations. As I read, I can almost hear the whispers of the beings that inhabit this forest, urging me to dig deeper. I learn about the pact made long ago, a desperate bid for power by the families who once lived here, a price paid in blood. And now the cycle had shifted, the power reclaiming itself through me. But knowledge comes at a cost. The more I read, the more I feel the pull of the forest, as if it's beckoning me to join its fold completely. I fight against it, reminding myself of my resolve, but the whispers grow louder, more insistent on the fourth night. As the moon hangs high and full, I hear the faint sound of rustling outside. My heart races, but I grip the axe tightly, prepared to defend myself if necessary. The knocking, which had ceased after my confrontation with the man, resumes, echoing through the cabin like a sinister heartbeat. I peer out the window, scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. The trees sway gently in the breeze, but I see nothing. Just as I begin to relax, convinced it's just my mind playing tricks on me, a shadow crosses my view. A figure darting between the trees. I step back, my breath quickening. Was it him? Another manifestation of the darkness? I can't be sure, but I know I can't stay idle. Grabbing my flashlight and the book, I throw on my jacket and head out into the night. The air is thick with moisture, the scent of earth and decay heavy in my lungs. I step cautiously into the woods, the flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. "Show yourself," I call out, my voice echoing off the trees. There's no response, only the rustle of leaves in the wind as I venture deeper. I follow the faint sounds of movement, my pulse quickening. I round a bend and find myself in another clearing, this one larger than the last. In the center stands a large, gnarled tree, its roots sprawling like fingers across the ground. Something about it feels familiar that I approach cautiously, the flashlight illuminating strange markings carved into the bark. They resemble the symbols I found in the book, warnings, protections, and remnants of rituals long forgotten. And then I see it, a figure standing near the tree, half hidden in the shadows. My heart races as I realize it's a woman, her long hair flowing like wisps of fog, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "Help me?" she whispers, her voice barely audible. I step closer, drawn in by her despair. "Who are you?" She looks at me with pleading eyes. "I'm one of them, a victim of this place. I was trapped just like you, but I found a way to resist. You have to break the cycle." My throat tightens. "How?" "I've tried everything. The power of the forest runs through you now. You can rewrite the story, but you must confront the roots of its darkness." The words resonate, striking a chord deep within me. I realize then that the gnarled tree isn't just a tree. It's a conduit of the forest's energy, a nexus of its history. "How?" I ask, my voice steadier now. "What do I need to do?" "The heart of the forest lies beneath. You must descend, face the darkness that created this nightmare. Only then can you free yourself and all the souls it has claimed." I hesitate, a rush of fear washing over me. But what if I fail? What if it consumes me? She reaches out, her fingers brushing against mine, and I feel a jolt of energy surge between us. "You're stronger than you think. Remember, you're not alone. The forest has chosen you, and in turn, you can choose it." With that, she steps back into the shadows, the light of the moon swallowing her form. I feel an emptiness in her absence, but her words linger, igniting a flicker of hope within me. I turn back to the gnarled tree, a mixture of dread and determination coursing through me. I kneel before its roots, searching for any sign of an entrance. The air feels charged, electric, as I press my hands against the rough bark. Suddenly, the ground trembles, and a section of the roots shifts aside, revealing a narrow opening leading down into darkness. Taking a deep breath, I grip my flashlight and edge closer to the opening. The air that wafts up is cool and damp, carrying a scent of ancient earth. I can't turn back now. I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing it for the souls trapped here. For the woman who showed me the way. I crawl through the opening, feeling the roots tugging at my clothes as I descend into the dark. The walls close in, and I can hear the faint sounds of dripping water echoing around me. Finally, I reach the bottom, a vast underground chamber, illuminated by a soft, eerie glow. The walls are lined with shimmering stones, pulsing like a heartbeat. In the center lies a dark pool of water, the surface perfectly still. As I approach, I see my reflection staring back at me, but it's distorted, twisted, like the figures in the book. The whispers grow louder, filling my mind with echoes of despair. "This is the heart," I whisper, feeling the weight of it all. The power is palpable, and I can sense the darkness swirling beneath the surface. "Face it," I tell myself, gripping the flashlight tightly. "You can do this." I step closer to the pool, feeling the energy rise around me, wrapping around my limbs like tendrils of smoke. As I look deeper into the water, visions flash before me. Families trapped, lives consumed, the cycle repeating endlessly. I can see the man from the woods, his twisted grin morphing into something monstrous, a reflection of the horror this place has wrought. "No more," I say, my voice firm. "You won't take anyone else." With every ounce of strength, I summon the power within me, channeling it into the pool. I feel the energy surging through my veins, mixing with the darkness, creating a maelstrom of light and shadow. The water begins to ripple, the surface churning as the figures trapped within rise, their screams echoing through the chamber. I can see their faces, haunted, desperate. "Let them go," I shout, and the energy explodes outward, engulfing the chamber in a blinding light. The darkness roars in fury, but I stand firm, refusing to back down. I channel everything I have into this moment, rewriting the very fabric of the forest's curse. The light bursts forth, consuming the shadows, breaking the chains that have held the souls captive for so long. I can feel their energy merging with mine, their hopes and dreams flooding into me, fueling my resolve. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it's over. The light dissipates, leaving only a shimmering calm in its wake. I collapse to my knees, breathless, my heart racing. The pool is still, and for the first time it feels peaceful, a reflection of liberation, not despair. As I rise, I notice something at the edge of the chamber, a figure materializing from the shadows. It's the woman, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You did it," she whispers, her voice warm and soothing. "You've broken the cycle." I look around, the chamber now a sanctuary instead of a prison. The remnants of the darkness fade, the weight of countless souls lifting. "What happens now?" I ask, my voice trembling with the enormity of it all. "Now we can find peace," she replies, her smile radiant. "You've set us free." I feel a warmth enveloping me, a sense of fulfillment washing over me. The forest has changed, its energy realigned, and I've found my place within it, not as a victim, but as a guardian. As we ascend back to the surface, I can feel the forest welcoming me, its embrace no longer oppressive but supportive. The trees seem to whisper words of gratitude as I step back into the moonlight. That I turn to the woman one last time, but she begins to fade, her form dissolving into the mist. "Thank you," I call after her, my voice echoing in the night. I've confronted my fears, faced the darkness, and emerged stronger. The forest is alive, a living entity, and I am its protector now. As dawn breaks, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. I stand before the cabin, feeling a sense of purpose. I know my journey isn't over. There will always be shadows to confront, mysteries to unravel. But for now, I'm at peace. The forest has chosen me, and I'll honor that choice, keeping its secrets safe while guiding those who wander too close to its darkness. And in the stillness of the morning, I hear the gentle rustle of leaves, a soft reminder that I am never truly alone.